guys, it's Ivy. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing my January wrap-up. I read some good stuff, so I'm excited to tell you guys about it. The first book that I read was The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, and I read this on audiobook narrated by Jim Dale. I actually started this in December, but I did not finish it till like early January. To be honest, I'm not 100% sure how to rate this book because I really don't think that I connected with the story as much as everyone else. I really don't remember too many things that happened. Like, I know this traveling circus shows up and this little boy is interested and he goes, and I know that the other part of the story is a girl who is in the circus. Their story combines, I think. Like I said, I just didn't retain too much information, and it's not even that I didn't like the story because I liked what I was understanding, but I wasn't understanding as much of the story as I would have liked to, and part of that could be me because I was in a reading slump. So I will definitely read this book again, maybe physically. I don't think that Jim Dale did anything wrong with his narration. I just think that I just didn't do a good job retaining this story in that way. So we'll definitely have to try it again physically. The next book I read was One Day in December, and this is by Josie Silver. This is the second one that I started in December but finished early January. This book is about a girl who sees the love of her life at a bus stop and spends the rest of her time looking for him, and years go by and her best friend is dating the guy that she's been looking for. Her best friend doesn't know that that's the guy, and so the story kind of unfolds there. It's a cute rom-com. I definitely enjoyed it. I gave it 3.5 stars. I recommend it. I thought it was cute. The next book I read was Maybe in Another Life by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I highly recommend this book to everybody. It's made my favorites list. I totally loved it. This is a book about a girl who moves back to California, and her friend takes her out. While Hannah is at the bar with her friend Gabby, she runs into her ex-boyfriend, and at the end of the night she has a choice to leave with her friend Gabby or leave with the ex-boyfriend, and the story unfolds in two different ways. It unfolds with her leaving with her friend Gabby, and it unfolds with her leaving with the ex-boyfriend in alternating chapters. And I've never read a book like that before. I just think it's an incredible story because a lot of people are plagued with the question, what if? And this book tells what if you were to make both of those choices, what would happen in your life along either storyline. And I read this at an extremely important part of my life, and I hope that this book goes into the hands of everyone because I really loved it. This was my first Taylor Jenkins Reid book, which I thought it would be The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and it wasn't, but I'm even more excited to read it now because I loved her writing style. I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. I loved everything about it, the characters, the world, everything. It was just incredible, and I really hope you guys read it. Then I reread The Cruel Prince by Holly Black on audiobook, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. If you don't know what The Cruel Prince is, why don't you? This book is about a girl whose parents were murdered by a fairy, and the fairy feels obligated to take them back to that land, so he takes them back to that land. Jude is a human girl living in fairy, and she gets caught up in all the political intrigue and the darkness and the murder and the brutality, and it's just so good. I highly recommend it. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Like I said, this was a reread. Then I read the novella The Lost Sisters by Holly Black after this, and I also gave that 5 out of 5 stars. The Lost Sisters was a cool intro into Jude's twin sister Taryn's mind, and some things that happen in The Cruel Prince get answered in The Lost Sisters, and I really recommend reading that in between because if you love The Cruel Prince, then you'll love the short novella. It was really good. Then I read The Wicked King by Holly Black, and holy shit, guys. Wow, this book was so brutal and so awesome and just incredible. I loved it even more than The Cruel Prince, which I didn't think was possible, but lo and behold it is. If you are down with dark, murder, brutality, fairies, political intrigue, mermaids, like, definitely read this book. It's so good. you guys will, I think you'll love it. Like, I loved it. I just hope everybody loves it. I definitely gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I think that Holly Black is amazing and her writing style is very fun and incredible. And I read The Becket List by Adele Griffin, and this book is about a girl named Becket who lives in the city and her family is moving back to her grandmother's farm, and it's about her wanting to be all about the farm life. She is just a lot of fun, and she makes her little list about things that she incorporates into her life to be more of a farm girl. And my favorite character in this book actually was the pug, Mr. Fancy Pants. He reminded me of my old dog Hooch, so yes, that's his name, Hooch. But it was just, I'm like smiling just thinking about it, because this book was just, it meant a lot to me, and I didn't see that coming when I got sent this to read and review by Algan Quinn. So I'd really like to thank them for sending this to me, because I really hope that a lot of people pick this up, even if you don't read middle grade. Like, it's really short and it's just entertaining, and Becket is so cool. She's a cool little kid. I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. I really loved it, and I hope you guys do too if you decide to pick it up. Next, I read 4 Dead Queens by Astrid Schultz, and this book is about 4 dead queens. Exactly. It's about this girl named Carol Lee, which her chapters I enjoyed enough, and then alternating chapters between each queen. And it's basically like this girl is a thief and she steals this comm, and she actually gets involved in something bigger than what she thinks it is, and she ends up eating the comm to see what happened on it, and she sees the 4 queens get murdered, and so she's trying to stop that from happening. And it's just like, I kept reading it. I didn't DNF it because I found it interesting enough to keep reading, but it wasn't like incredible like I thought it was gonna be. So I think if you're a fan of 3 Dark Crowns, you'll like this book, but I didn't. I don't even know what to rate it, 1 star, 2 stars. Unfortunately, I thought it was going to be a favorite, but it just wasn't. I just think that if you're a fan of Red Queen and 3 Dark Crowns, you'll like this book, but it wasn't for me, and that's really unfortunate, so sorry. I read The Chaos of Standing Still by Jessica Brody. This book is about a girl who gets stranded in the Denver airport on New Year's Eve, and her and this guy run into each other and they drop their phones and they end up swapping phones. So they end up having to meet up to switch phones again, and they end up spending the entire time they're stranded in the airport together. This book is about grief. The girl who loses her phone has a text message from her best friend from over a year ago that she's never read, and her best friend died on this day, so it's going to be a year that her best friend was gone. And this book deals a lot with grief, and I thought that was handled okay. I thought it was handled pretty good, but I just think that the book was too long to span over a 24-hour period of time, and it was just not as entertaining or fast-paced as I thought it was going to be. So I ended up giving it 2.5 out of 5 stars. It had a good ending. I liked the ending. I thought it was okay. It was an okay book. I mean, I don't have anything really negative to say about it except for the fact that it was too long. If it was shorter, I might have enjoyed it a little bit more. So there you guys have it. That is my January wrap up. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys read in the month of January, and if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, and if you're looking for me at any other social medias, you can find those linked down below as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye.